1,500 crores of cash that you said, am I to assume that therefore
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV and this is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is where we will discuss the closing action on the day street, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that you should keep on your focus list. We'll also get you expert views to find out where exactly should you be investing in these markets which are trading near all-time high levels. First up, a quick check as to how the benchmarks are doing as we begin the last half an hour of trade. You can see the Nifty and the Sensex up in the green, slightly off the all-time high mark. If you see, the Sensex is trading at 65,488, 283 points higher in trade. About 0.4% of an uptick is what you can spot there. 19,386 currently for the Nifty. It's up about 64, 65 odd points, but definitely we did achieve newer milestones in today's trading action. The Nifty Bank has been supporting the markets all through today, especially the sharp moves we've been looking at in the PSU banking space, in the financial services space as well. Although, of course, both the Nifty Bank is off the day's high point, and similar action being seen also on the PSU Bank index. You can see financial services index just flat with a positive bias right now. Again, a similar move, and the private banks are also seeing flattish in trade. The financial services are actually up at 0.9%. In terms of the other sectors, apart from the auto space that's slightly sluggish in trade today, and metals that are absolutely flat, and the realty pack also just up by about just down by about 1/10%. Rest of the sectors are all up in the green. IT stocks is something that you should watch out for. They have pulled up in the second half of the trading action. 1% uptick for the Nifty IT index. It's risen to the day's high level. So that's the index that you should watch out for. Apart from this, financial services, we've already seen. Let's also look at the pharma pack. That's absolutely flat with a positive bias. 0.2% in fact up in trade right now. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Mr. Nipun Mehta joins right in, well-known market expert. Welcome, Mr. Mehta, and thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. So the markets have been continuing their spectacular rally for the last 4-5 trading sessions, 4 consecutive sessions of record levels being seen. How are you looking at this current trading setup at these dizzying heights? Is there a profit booking urge that you're feeling?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. I think markets at all-time high levels clearly, obviously, is a factor of the flows that are there, FI flows that are there. Of course, clearly backed by fundamentals and the fact that probably India is one of the shining stars in the global economic scenario in terms of that is there. You've seen China slow down. You've seen a lot of other countries still grappling with inflation. On the other hand, India is very clearly on an upswing in terms of various macro factors, and also to back it up with clearly the corporate earnings that we've seen over the last quarter. I think fundamentally strong in terms of visibility of earnings. Probably the rise has been too fast, so one would be more comfortable if there is consolidation that happens in the markets at these levels. But uh, it's tough to say given the kind of FI flows that we are seeing over the last couple of months.
But if you have ideas as an investor, should you continue to chase ideas, or one has to hold on the hands right now to act in this market?
So I think it's clearly a time horizon play. If one still does have a long-term investment horizon, and given the fact that now there's for a lot of sectors, a lot of companies, clearer visibility for 2025 earnings or 2026 earnings, clearly you're likely to see gradually a lot of that discounting happening in the markets. So there are opportunities, and one should continue to look at uh, nibbling into the markets in stocks and sectors which continue to show promise.
How are the valuations right looking to you? I mean, they have definitely gone up. Even if the structural argument is intact, if the valuation re-rating has already happened and earnings have, would you really hold on, or would you be tempted to book profits out?
So, like I said, it's a if one still has a long term, if one continues to have a long term investment horizon, one should continue to hold. Valuations will keep moving up and down depending on
Yeah.
earnings that keep showing up quarter on quarter. So, sectorally, it could be different for different sectors and different companies based on the kind of earnings that they announce. Individually, there could be certain stocks where earnings are stretched, but I would think the markets currently are fairly valued, and there continue to be opportunities in the mid cap and small cap space, given the
Okay.
kind of sharp increase in earnings that some of these companies continue to show.
Okay. Now, let's also look at the mergers that are happening in the financial space. What does it really mean for investors? How are you looking at the news flow of IDFC First Bank now after the HDFC Twins merger? What does it really mean for the investors out there?
So clearly, these kind of mergers are leading to, on the one side, much larger, much stronger banking entities. Uh, one of them has been a housing finance play, which has merged into a bank. The other is an infrastructure play, which has merged with a bank. So the kind of sharp increase in book size on the one side, and the fact that uh, uh, there is a clear improvement in ratios for the merged entity. I think what's important is the lower cost of funds that the bank would have, and which would clearly benefit the increased book size that is there, that would be there post the merger. So I think positive, very positive for the as far as the investor is concerned. Uh, Sometimes also showing up, throwing up short-term opportunities, but I think when one looks at it from a medium to long-term scenario, these kind of mergers, which significantly strengthen ratios and strengthen the banking entity, should be looked forward to by investors.
Okay. Let's also talk about Bajaj Finance, the top mover on the Nifty index today, 8% surge. We've seen the strong business update. How do you assess the move today? And is there more to go on Bajaj Finance and also on Bajaj Finserv?
So rather than talking specifically on the company, one would believe now that the kind of indication that the financials seem to be showing for the quarter, concerns that were there over the last 4 to 6 quarters in terms of possibility of growth, in terms of potential shrinkage of margins, and all of that should probably gradually go away. You've seen similar kind of improvement in margins and book size growth in other NBFCs as well, where you're seeing a fair amount of traction today as well. There's been a reasonable amount of borrowing from the debt market by a lot of these NBFCs, some PSU banks as well. That's something that's again further strengthening their or enlarging their overall book size. So their ability to lend at these interest rates, uh, and the fact that they can capitalize or take benefit of marginally higher NIMs that they're able to generate out of this kind of borrowing is something which is showing up positively as far as uh, the financials are concerned. So one would believe that NBFCs, which have seen maybe a sideways movement over the last 4 to 6 quarters, gradually should or are likely to start showing better numbers going ahead.
Okay. Another space that I wanted your attention is the telecom space, especially Reliance has finally begun moving after a stark underperformance of the last 1 year or so. I wanted to ask you, could the new Jio phone launch really move the needle for Reliance Industries, and what does it really mean for the telecom space at large? Bharti Airtel was under pressure today.
So I think these kind of events or these kind of initiatives clearly help.
All right. We'll try and get back to Mr. Mehta. There has been some kind of a technical glitch, but we've been like discussing on a whole host of stocks right there, from the financial space where the merger news is coming in, and on Reliance Industries. Of course, we did see a sharp move in the first half of trading action. You're seeing the stock now down in trade about 1% odd, so there are being profits being taken off the table. You did see 2600 and above those kind of levels coming in on Reliance Industries, and of course the trigger is the Jio Bharat phone. Now the big question is whether this disruptive move could impact Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea as well. The internet enabled device that Reliance Industries has launched, Jio Bharat, will be priced at 999 rupees and could enable a seamless transition of for the 2G users to the 4G network in India. Now, this launch could, there is an expectation, could potentially add about 20 to 30 million subscribers to the telecom operator Jio's base on an annual basis, and that could in fact eventually result in a 2 to 3% increase in the financial year 2025 revenues and the EBITDA as per most of the analysts as well. So that's the kind of move we have seen, a disruptive move on Bharti Airtel on the back of that news flow too. With that, let's quickly look at how the markets are doing at this point. 280 points up still on the Sensex, so that 65,486 mark can be seen there. 19,388, for the Nifty right now, about 66 odd points currently. So looks like the markets are going to have another day of positive close. In fact, handsome gains coming in and record closing highs again for the markets. But we'll continue to watch out for as to what is really moving the needle in the markets to help you understand where exactly should you as equity investors be keeping your focus. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Business Today Television, the best place to be for all things market. Today is not only a historical day when you look at indices. The Nifty and the Bank Nifty are, of course, at record highs, and we've seen a very, very sharp rally coming into Indian stocks.